Hello there.
So we got a pretty big leak in this video for Godzilla X Kong. We got the ending to the movie that has been revealed through various leaks. We have a pretty detailed leak. It's kind of the entire plot, but we're just going to break it down piece by piece because it's just a lot to digest. It's a lot to read, but we'll break down the ending in this video. And like I said, this is pretty much a play-by-play, and it seems pretty legit. Take everything with a grain of salt, of course, but based off everything we've seen in the trailers and bits and pieces we've already got of the plot, this ending leak seems to be the real deal. So if you don't really want spoilers, then click off this video before I even hit the intro, but if not, let's get it.
The Atomic Fan.
Alright, so Godzilla X Kong is a few months away. It'll be out April 12th, and I'll be watching it in the movie theaters. That's actually a few days before my birthday. I'm excited for the movie. I think it's going to be a big hit, and I feel like it's going to be bigger than Godzilla vs. Kong. I feel like just the way that the movie theaters have been the last few years, the way movies have been, they have been really bad lately. The MonsterVerse kind of falls into that genre of just being popcorn, fun entertainment. They don't really seem to be pushing any political agendas or anything like that in their movies. So people really seem to be flocking towards it, especially with Godzilla vs. Kong. And then if you look at the Godzilla X Kong trailer and all the views that has, all the reception for the movie already and the coverage that it's been getting, it seems like this movie is going to be pretty successful, especially riding the wave of Godzilla -1, even though it's not even technically in the same universe. But yeah, in this video, we have the ending to Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. We're going to break it down in a play-by-play, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it and what I think about it. Now, this leak that I'm talking about here is kind of an entire plot leak for the whole movie, but I'm picking it up at the third act because this whole plot leak's a lot to break down, man. So I'm going to have to do it over a few videos. But yeah, I'm going to pick it up pretty much from the third act of the movie. So it says Godzilla and Kong travel back down into the Hollow Earth to face off against Scar King's army. Mothra plays a support role in the final battle. She helps keep Scar King's ape troop at bay while Godzilla and Kong battle Scar King and Shimo. She fights using her classic wing scale pollen from the Toho movies and webbing to wrap up apes. Now, I'm kind of fanboying out because I don't know, I'm a geek for Mothra, man. She's badass. Right as they clash, the Iwi activate a device that manipulates the gravity, leading to a sequence where Godzilla, Kong, Mothra, and Zuko battle the army in zero gravity. Most of Scar King's army of apes are taken out here by Mothra and Zuko, while Kong and Godzilla focus on the two heavy hitters. The gravity reactivates, and Godzilla, Kong, Scar King, and Shimo fall through a portal that drops them all off in Rio de Janeiro, where the rest of the fight takes place. Towards the end of the battle, Scar King tries to defend himself against an attacking Godzilla with his whip, but Godzilla catches it in his mouth and breaks it, dropping the control crystal, enslaving Shimo and sending it sliding across the ground. Now, I'm gonna have to go back through this and break this down because this is like giving us a ton of plot info, man. This is some juicy stuff here. As Kong and Scar King scramble to recapture it, Zuko comes in last second with Kong's axe and brings it down on the gem, breaking the control over Shimo. Scar King then receives the beating of a lifetime by Godzilla, Kong, and Shimo before she freezes Scar King solid with her ice breath, and Kong smashes him into a million pieces. The movie ends with Godzilla firing his atomic breath into the sky to dissipate Shimo's Ice Age blizzard she'd created before he swims back to Rome to rest in the Colosseum, while Kong and Zuko ride Shimo back into the Hollow Earth where they free all the enslaved apes. So, I feel like this is kind of controversial, y'all, because I feel like some people are going to think that this is really extreme and over the top if this is how this leak ends up playing out, if this plays out in the movie. But at the same time, I feel like this is kind of awesome. I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see it. The scene of them being in zero gravity just sounds crazy. Mothra returning sounds pretty amazing. And then the way that they're supposed to kill Scar King, if this plays out on screen, is just going to be wild. I mean, but it's not too different than the way that Mechagodzilla died, right? So apparently they're going to freeze Scar King and they're going to smash him into a million pieces, but that's kind of similar to the way that Mechagodzilla was kind of chopped up with Kong's axe. So, I mean, come on, man, there's no denying that shit is getting wild in the MonsterVerse. I mean, I remember when Kong was getting his axe just a few years ago when Godzilla vs. Kong came out, and people were saying then that the MonsterVerse is really jumping the shark, and now things are crazy. We have the third act of this next MonsterVerse movie taking place in a zero gravity fight situation with a crystal that is controlling the villain. And all that stuff. So it's going to be crazy. And on top of that, we're also finding out that Shimo is apparently a female. So this is all news that is really surprising and definitely hitting that over-the-top mark with a lot of the plot elements, but I'm kind of here for it. I think it's going to be a good time, man. I think it's just good to have a movie that's kind of some popcorn fun, doesn't have any sort of the modern-day tropes that are going in modern-day movies. I think that's what made Godzilla vs. Kong so successful. I think it's a hole that needs to be filled. It hasn't really been filled since the Transformers movies. See, what happened with the Transformers movies is they kind of fell way off the deep end, and they just got way too bad in their script writing. And at least in Godzilla vs. Kong, we had some balance between some somewhat okay script writing and then the fight scenes between Godzilla vs. Kong, and that's what we had in the first two Transformers movies before things got way too crazy. I'd say even the third Transformers movie was pretty good, but then the fourth and fifth, whatever, I saw Rise of the Beast, that one was pretty bad as well. Some really bad script writing. So as long as the MonsterVerse doesn't delve too deeply into that with really silly scripts, I think we can kind of play around in the sandbox and have Godzilla fighting in zero gravity and stuff. I think it'll be fine as long as we have some decent characters that we care about, and Godzilla and Kong are kind of handled well. Kong has kind of gotten his own fan base going now in the MonsterVerse, so I think things are really looking up for the MonsterVerse. I think we're definitely going to get another movie after this. This is not going to be the last MonsterVerse movie unless this one just entirely flops, which I don't see either, especially in this Hollywood drought of enjoyable movies that we've been in the last few years. Godzilla vs. Kong filled that hole in 2020 when things were a lot more restricted. Now in 2023, it's going to be filling that gap again when we've had multiple summer seasons of movies that have just been underwhelming. So comment down below what you guys think about this new MonsterVerse leak. Do you think the MonsterVerse is going too far? Comment that down below as well. Does it sound silly to you? Whatever you guys think, comment down below. And for this video, that's all I got. So until the next one, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.